Right now, somewhere in your yard, a small city is going up, and you have no idea. Along the edge of a sidewalk crack where the grass meets the dirt, that little pile of loose soil you keep meaning to kick away is actually the first sign of something that's going to outlast you. Stop! Because today I'm going to show you exactly what happens if you never touch it for an entire year. Never flood it, never step on it, never so much as disturb it. And I'm hoping you haven't already. And the answer is bigger than anything you're picturing right now. Because inside that little mound, a completely different clock has already started ticking. It all starts with a single queen. Last spring, on some warm, humid evening, she took off on the same mating flight thousands of other ants take every year. She drifted through the air for a while, mated, and landed. Almost none of the others made it back. A bird, a spider, something got most of them. Out of 1,000 queens, maybe one survives. She did. The second she hit the ground, she bit off her own wings because she knew she'd never need to fly again and started digging alone just a few inches down. That tiny mound you're looking at right now, that's her first room. There might be 50 eggs in there, maybe fewer. And we both know that the second you notice that mound, the only thought that crossed your mind was, I'll clean that up eventually. To anyone walking by, it means nothing, but it's the first step of a whole system starting from zero. One that only one queen out of 1,000 ever gets to build. For the first 30 days, the queen never comes up for air. The first ants she raises, what scientists call nenitic workers, noticeably smaller and weaker than their sisters will be, because she had to raise them on nothing but her own wing muscles and stored fat, step outside for the first time with exactly one job: find food, bring it back, keep the queen and the next generation alive. Up on the surface, everything is out to get them. Spiders, birds, rival colonies, even a hard rain. These first 30 days are the most fragile the colony will ever be. One storm, one shovel could end this whole story before it starts. But it doesn't, because you don't notice. Or you notice and tell yourself you'll deal with it later. And later never comes, because every day that passes, the colony settles in a little deeper, a little safer, while you go on with your life and they go on building something bigger. 3 months in, and the picture has completely changed. There's no longer just one mound. In the cracks of your sidewalk, under the flagstone, in that dry patch of dirt by the lawn, there are now 3, maybe 5 separate entrances. The workforce has gone from tens to hundreds. And this is exactly when something nobody sees coming happens. War. Pavement ants, almost certainly the species in your yard, genus Tetramorium, go to war with the neighboring colony because both of them want the same food, the same damp soil, the same stretch of warm concrete. If you catch a mass of ants swarming on the sidewalk on a hot summer day, they are not out for a walk. They're fighting. Get close enough and you'll see hundreds of them locked jaw to jaw, dragging each other across the pavement. Some of these battles kill thousands of workers in a single day. And by the next morning, there's almost no trace of it, because the survivors carry their dead back underground in silence. The losing side abandons the territory completely. The winning side pushes its border a few inches further out. You saw this and wrote it off as ants losing their minds. But what you actually watched wasn't chaos. It was an empire drawing its borders. It was them saying, we're here now. 6 months in, and what you have is no longer a colony. It's a system. Every worker has a specific job. Some only carry food. Some only feed and groom the larvae. Some patrol the borders of the nest. Some do nothing but haul the dead back outside. The job you get depends on your age. Young workers stay inside on the safer tasks, and as they get older, they graduate to the riskier jobs out on the surface. Almost like the colony keeps its most valuable members safe inside and sends out the ones it can afford to lose. When a worker senses a threat, she sprays formic acid from her abdomen, both a weapon and an alarm, leaving behind a sharp, sour smell that warns every ant nearby. Underground, there's a tunnel network you will never see. Some chambers built purely for storing food, some for raising larvae, some that exist for no other reason than to hold humidity and temperature steady. The ants move the larvae between these rooms several times a day, chasing the sun, keeping everything at exactly the right temperature. That ordinary patch of dirt you walk over every day, It's actually a multi-level city with its own climate control running around the clock. Now let's ask the real question. Is this good for your yard or bad? The answer is the opposite of what most people assume. This colony aerates your soil. The tunnels they dig let your grass roots breathe and let water reach deeper, working like a natural drainage system. They hunt aphids, small caterpillars, the larvae chewing through your lawn roots, fighting a battle you never even notice. One can of spray can't fully win, for free, without you lifting a finger. Carrying seeds back to the nest, they drop a few along the way, which is exactly how a lot of wildflowers spread themselves in the first place. And yes, sometimes they do show up in your kitchen, but even that's a signal, not an attack. It means the colony isn't finding enough food outside, which usually means there's a moisture or a food problem somewhere inside your house. So think about this for a second. The moment you kill that mound with spray or boiling water, you're wiping out an entire crew that was working for you, and nothing steps in to replace it. The aphids come back, the soil compacts, and you've just swept aside a system that was doing you a favor. By the end of the year, that tiny nest that started with a single queen has grown into thousands of workers. A mature pavement ant colony can top 10,000 individuals. It has defended its ground, built its own tunnel network, organized its own division of labor, and learned to control its own climate. And you, by doing absolutely nothing, just by not touching it, witnessed the birth of a fully self-governing, self-feeding, self-defending ecosystem in the middle of your own yard. A year ago, there was just dirt there. Now there's an order to it, and you were both the witness to that order, and the reason by leaving it alone that it was ever allowed to happen. Look at the mound in your neighbor's yard. Maybe that one's still a single queen who just finished her first 30 days. Yours is a city now. The only difference is time, and the fact that you never got in the way. But here's the part almost nobody knows. Entomologists working on North Carolina State University's massive citizen science project, the School of Ants, have spent years documenting a strange pattern. Some pavement ant colonies that appear to be fighting each other to the death are genetically actually related. And this isn't a one-off in the ant world. Researchers have documented other species where colonies miles apart, but descended from the same lineage, act as allies instead of enemies, which means what you're watching in your yard might not be just one colony at all. You could be looking at the tiny visible corner of a much bigger network, stitched together by invisible family ties. That war on your sidewalk might just be the small piece you can actually see of a much older, much bigger story. A year ago, there was a small mound of dirt in the corner of your yard, and you looked right past it. Now you know that moment was the first breath of an empire, and because you did nothing, nature got to finish what it started. So, has there ever been a nest in your yard that you left completely alone? Or did you step on it the moment you spotted it? Write it below. Let's figure out together who this yard actually belongs to.